A very good evening to all our viewers who have just joined into Question Time on Islam Live from the Ahlebait Studios here in London with your host Naveed Hussain, our Islamic scholar. Alhamdulillah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give him a long and successful life. Joins us each week, every week, for our viewers around the globe to ask any questions, to make any comments, to share your observations, or even to challenge whatever Islamic scholar has to say in his answers. So our Islamic scholar Syed Musawi joins us this evening once again. Thank you very much, Syed, for joining us. If our viewers have any questions, any concerns, any comments about not just about the religion of Islam, but life in general, our Islamic scholar, inshallah, will try his very best to answer. Sayyidina, welcome once again, and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد كأفضل ما صليت على أحد من الأولين والآخرين. اللهم عجل فرج محمد وآل محمد وفرجنا بهم يا كريم. The celebration of the birth anniversary of Imam Hassan al-Askari in Rabi' al-Thani. Imam Hassan al-Askari was the 11th Imam from the 12 Imams from Ahlul Bayt. The Prophet of Islam has clearly said that my successors will be 12, all of them from Quraysh, from Bani Hashim, and he gave their names one after another. The first of them was Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib. Second of them was Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba. Third of them, Imam Hussain al-Shahid alayhim as-salam jami'an. Then Imam Ali ibn al-Hussain Zainul Abidin as-Sajjad. Then Imam Muhammad al-Baqir alayhim as-salam. Then Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq alayhi as-salam. Then Imam Musa al-Kadhim alayhi as-salam. Then Imam Ali ibn Musa al-Rida alayhi as-salam. Then Imam Muhammad al-Jawad al-Taqi alayhi as-salam. Then Imam Ali al-Hadi alayhi as-salam. Then Imam al-Hassan al-Askari alayhi salam. And the last and the 12th Imam is Imam al-Mahdi ajjalallahu ta'ala farajahu al-Sharif. Imam Hassan al-Askari lived most of his life in Samarra. His father, Imam Ali al-Hadi, was brought forcibly from his hometown, al-Madinah al-Munawwara, to Samarra in Iraq, which was that time the capital of the Abbasid government, because the Abbasid rulers were always doubting that the Imams from Ahlul Bayt are trying to kick them out from the government and try to plot and make the government for Ahlul Bayt, not for the Abbasid. So Imam Ali al-Hadi was brought forcibly from Medina to Samarra. He was accompanied by his son al-Hasan al-Askari alayhi salam. And Imam Hassan al-Askari remained in Samarra even after the martyrdom of his father, Imam Ali al-Hadi, who was killed by poison by the same rulers of Abbaside. Then Imam Hassan al-Askari had no choice but to remain in Samarra because the rulers of Bani Abbasites wanted to keep the Imam always under their eye and control and keep on watching them. Imam Hassan al-Askari, though that his life was not long, he was very young, but his role in serving Islam cannot be forgotten. I will mention just one example. Imam Hassan al-Askari, living under almost house arrest in Samarra, he was told that one person by the name of Abu Ishaq al-Sabi. Abu Ishaq al-Sabi was a man who was teaching some of students. And Abu Ishaq al-Sabi was thinking in his own way, and he thought that some of the verses in Quran are contradicting another verses. And he started writing about such verses, which he understood in a different way. Imam Hassan al-Askari told one of the students of Abu Ishaq al-Sabi, told him, try to deal with Abu Ishaq very nicely and serve him and try to get his trust. If he trusts you, then ask him one question. That student went to his teacher, Abu Ishaq, and served him and was very obedient student and servant till Abu Ishaq trusted him. Then the question came, as Imam told that student to ask Abu Ishaq. The question is, if someone speaks something and you understand it in a way, and he tells you that I did not mean what you understood, shall we believe that person who misunderstood, or we believe the person who said, I did not mean that? The question is very clear. Anyone who speaks something, he is more entitled to explain what he means than anyone else. So when you have taken some Quranic verses, thinking that the meanings of these verses is so and so, and Allah is telling you, no, I don't mean that. So whom to believe? The basic logic says that we believe the person who spoke. He knows what he means more than others. So he told him that the Quranic verses that you have misunderstood and you have written that these verses are contrary to other verses, when there is evidence that Allah did not mean what you thought, what is the value of your thinking? Abu Ishaq was shocked. I told him, from where you got this question? There is not a question which can come from a person like you. There's a very deep question. He said, I was taught by Imam Al-Hasan Al-Askari. Immediately, Abu Ishaq took all the paper that he wrote with his misunderstanding and turned and torn all of them and destroyed all what he had written about the doubts. Imagine, in this way, Imam Al-Hasan Al-Askari protected the truth of Quran and protected Islam from those who try to spread among people misunderstandings about Quran. Imam Al-Hasan Al-Askari, alayhi salam, in his house arrest in Samarra, was protecting Islam and was practicing the role of the Prophet of Islam. Of course, he was not a prophet. All the 12 Imams are not prophets at all, but they were the real successors of the Prophet of Islam. I would like to invite everyone to read more about the life and sayings and statements of Imam Hasan Al-Askari alayhi salam. It has got a great benefit for every Muslim and for every human being. In fact, if you take any side of the life of Imam Hasan Al-Askari alayhi salam, you will find a lot of benefits and a lot of evidence that Islam is the real message from Allah to guide all the human beings to the proper life.
Thank you very much, Syed, for that beautiful introduction to this evening's show. There's a question regarding the birth of the 12th Imam, alayhi salam, that some believe that the 12th Imam was born. Some people believe that he is yet to be born. Why this discrepancy? Why this difference? And who believes what?
The 12th Imam was the son of Imam Hasan Al-Askari alayhi salam. And he was born in Samarra on the 15th Sha'ban, year 255. Year 255. Imam Al-Mahdi alayhi salam was seen by many of the authentic companions of his father, Imam Hasan Al-Askari. Not one person saw him, but many have seen him. Up to the extent that you find among Sunni books, lot of leading Sunni ulama who stated the fact that Imam Al-Mahdi was born. One of the books, which was recently, before a few years, published, he listed 87 of the leading Sunni ulama who have admitted the fact that Imam Al-Mahdi alayhi salam was born. So it is not a matter which can be denied. Those who deny the birth of Imam Al-Mahdi are denying it for their own political reasons. all political reasons, because they want to drive the people away from the real Imam, and they claim that Imam will be born. No, Imam has been born already, and Imam is the 12th Imam, and his father was the 11th Imam, and his grandfather was the 10th Imam, till Amir al-Mu'mineen. So there is no way to claim that Imam was not being born. And those who claim that, how can they deal with the witnesses of those who saw the Imam? Not one, not two, not three, hundreds of people met the Imam. Hundreds of people got messages from the Imam, got answers of their questions from the Imam. And Imam informed them according to his knowledge, because as you know that the Imam is granted with thought or part of the unseen. So the Imam replied the questions of people with the knowledge which Allah granted him. So no one can respect his intellect and reason then doubt the birth of the Imam, who was being seen by many, not one, not two, many of the most trustworthy people who stated that they have seen the Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam. Yes, Imam al-Mahdi was under big danger, because his opponents knew that the 12th Imam will establish the government of peace and justice. The 12th Imam will establish the worldwide government of peace and justice. So they were after Imam Hassan al-Askari's wife. They wanted to check whether she is pregnant or not. Why? Because they wanted to kill the child. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah does whatever He wants, not what the people want. Allah made the pregnancy of the mother of Imam al-Mahdi, Lady Nargis Khatun, made her pregnancy unclear. One of her names is Saqil. Saqil means the lady whose pregnancy is not clear. She is pregnant, but she looks like not pregnant. The pregnancy of the mother of Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam was not known even for the closest members of her family, up to the extent that Hakima, Lady Hakima, who was the sister of Imam al-Jawad alayhi salam, she was the aunt of Imam al-Hassan al-Askari. She was visiting her, the Imam, that night. Imam told her not to go, remain, because his wife will be delivering a baby tonight. She was asking, your wife? How? She's not pregnant. Allah did not make the pregnancy of the mother of Imam al-Mahdi obvious and clear to people. And just before the birth of Imam al-Mahdi, the last hours of the 15th of Sha'ban, the symptoms of labor became clear on Lady Narjis Khatun, and she gave birth to Imam al-Mahdi alayhi as-salam. So with all these evidence, all those who saw the Imam and understanding the danger which was around the Imam, as you know that when the Imam was born, Imam al-Askari, his father, did not keep him exposed to public because the Abbasid rulers were after him to kill him. So only most trusted people saw him. Not everyone. Not everyone. But he was being seen by many most trusted people. And Imam had two occultations, the small and the major. This minor occultation, which was around 70 years, through which Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam used to contact the believers through Sufara, 4 ambassadors or envoys or deputies, 4. We call them as-Sufara al-Arba'a, one after another. The first one was Uthman bin Syed, one of the very, very trustworthy mu'mineen who was in Baghdad. And he was the deputy of Imam al-Askari alayhi salam before. Then he became deputy of Imam al-Mahdi. And then after him, the other Safir was Muhammad bin Uthman bin Syed, his son, Muhammad bin Uthman bin Syed, who was the second deputy or Safir, ambassador of the Imam. Then after Muhammad bin Uthman, the third was Hussain ibn Ruh. Then fourth one was Ali bin Muhammad al-Saymuri or al-Samari. Fourth. 4 persons, one after another. That took about 70 years. When the 4th Safir was to die, Imam told him to convey to the followers of Ahlebait that no Safir will be after him. And then the leadership of the Mu'mineen will go to the most learned and most pious scholars who are the Maraja of Taqleed. That is in the major occultation, Al-Ghaybatul Kubra. That was the situation of the Imam. And Allah wanted the Imam to be saved, and Allah kept the Imam away from the eyes of the enemies. This might be one of the reasons that's why some people are denying the birth of Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam. But for those who believe in the truth, with all the evidence, all the witnesses, we have no doubt that Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam was born on 15th of Sha'ban 255 after Hijrah in the city of Samarra.
Thank you very much indeed, Syed, for that beautiful detailed answer. Do we find in the first 5 years of the Imam's life to have visited any, like for example in Medina, to visit the grave of the Prophet, or do we find that the 5 years that the Imam spent was in the vicinity or in the proximity in the city of Samarra? Do we find that the Imam may have gone, for example, visited Baghdad or Medina for his ancestors? So do we find any events, anything in the history?
Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam, from the beginning of his life till today, he goes to many places. He goes to Medina, to Mecca, to Karbala, to Najaf, and he meets the believers whenever and wherever Allah wants him to do so. So the traveling of Imam al-Mahdi is not recorded by us because Allah wanted his traveling, his movement to be hidden so that the enemies should not reach to him. But no doubt, Imam travels wherever Allah wants him to be. Today also, and every time we have got authentic evidence that Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam goes for Hajj every year. يحضر الموسم. Every year he is in Mecca. Also he goes to Medina. Also he goes wherever Allah wants him to go. But we cannot record. We have no record of his movement. Allah knows and Allah orders him to go wherever he goes.
Subhanallah. Thank you very much, Sayyidina. Sayyidina, are we allowed to take a false oath by the Quran to save someone's life or honor?
Are we allowed to take false oath to save somebody's life? If the matter, in general, taking false oath is a major sin deliberately. If it is done deliberately, if someone takes false oath deliberately, he will be committing a major sin. But it depends on the situation. If the situation of that person that really he is trying to save somebody's life, then the matter is different. If you are really after saving somebody's life who is an innocent person who might be killed by wrongdoers, and there is no way to save his life but to take false oath, then only and only in such situation to save the life of an innocent, yes. To save the life of innocent from killing wrongly, then it is yes.
Thank you very much, Sayyidina. Is a 12er Shia allowed to marry a Dawoodi Bohra?
Is the 12er Shia Isna Ashari? Are the Shia Isna Asharis allowed to marry from Dawoodi Bohra? The answer, 12er Shias, followers of the 12 Imams, are allowed to marry with any Muslim from any Muslim sect. Any Muslim from any Muslim sect, as far as the marriage does not harm the religion and the faith of the person. Not only Dawoodi Bohras, but Hanafi Sunni, or Shafi'i Sunni, or Hanbali Sunni, or Maliki Sunni, or a Muslim from any sect. Is it permissible for Shia to marry from any Muslim sect? The answer is yes, it is permissible as far as the marriage does not harm the religion and faith of the person.
Thank you very much indeed, Sayyidina. Sayyidina, after performing an istikhara for business and receiving a negative result, is it permissible to repeat the istikhara after 6 months?
Istikhara should not be repeated for the same subject when the circumstance is same. when istikhara gives you guidance that no, you cannot go for another istikhara unless and until the situation is different. Say you took istikhara when the market price was so and so. Now the market price has gone down or up. Can you see istikhara again? Yes, because something has changed in the situation of the subject of the istikhara. So it is not matter of 6 months or 3 months or more or less. It is matter of the change of circumstance. If the circumstances are exactly same, no second istikhara. If the circumstances have changed, yes, istikhara is possible.
Okay, thank you very much indeed, Sayyidina. Sayyidina, should I repay my debt that was obtained in rupees based on today's exchange rate or based on the exchange rate at the time I borrowed, considering that I earn in dollars?
You should avoid harming the person who lended you the money. The person who gave you the loan. You should not harm him by giving him less than the value of his money. Keep yourself in his place. If you were the person who gave loan to someone and it was for certain value, then the value of that money went down. Do you like that they give you less than what you gave them? No, you don't like that. So as we don't want to be harmed, we should not harm others, especially when you are dealing with a person who did good to you. And in Quran, هل جزاء الإحسان إلا الإحسان. For anyone who did good to you, you must do good to him. There is no way to do bad to him. A person who did good to you by giving you money when you were in need, when you give him back his money, you should avoid harming him in any way. More than that, it is recommended in Islam that when you pay back your loan to someone, it is recommended on you to give him above his capital, which was given to you, a gift. That gift is not obligatory. It is not interest. It is not usury, not sued. No, it is a gift. It is recommended for anyone who has borrowed from someone, when he repays the amount, recommended to give him a gift above his capital. That is recommended. So mainly you should not harm the person who gave you loan when you were in need. Yes, please.
Thank you very much indeed, Sayyidina. Sayyidina, is it permissible to work in a shop as a cashier or a stock list assistant that sells groceries, including non-halal meat, tobacco, and alcohol?
Is it permissible to work as cashier or helper or whatever in a store which deals with many items, including alcohol and other things? The answer, any dealing with alcohol is not permissible. Any type, selling, carrying, making accounts, anything which has anything to do with alcohol is totally unlawful in Islam. So if your job is to be cashier to take money for alcohol, that is haram. The act is haram, and the money that you earn from such haram act is also unlawful money.
Thank you very much indeed, Sayyidina. Sayyidina, are we allowed to pray for forgiveness of those deceased Muslims who used to drink alcohol?
Are we allowed to seek forgiveness for deceased Muslim who used to drink alcohol? The answer is yes. We are allowed to pray for the forgiveness of sinners, Muslims who committed sins, like drinking alcohol or like committing any other sin. So seeking forgiveness for Muslims who passed away is permissible.
Thank you very much indeed, Sayyidina. Is it allowed to work in a laboratory where animal disease testing kits are made using proteins derived from pig's blood?
Is it permissible to work in
a laboratory? Laboratory, yeah, where animal disease testing kits, where testing kits are made using the proteins derived from a pig's blood.
There's no harm. There's no harm in using the testing kit from protein derived from pork. After all, it is not a matter of human beings. It is for animals, right? And even if it is for human beings, as far as the material derived from the pork protein does not go inside the stomach, it is only injection that also is permissible. You know, sometimes the insulin, which is used by some diabetic patients, injected in the blood, in the muscle, in the veins, sometimes it is taken from pork. Is it permissible to inject such insulin, which was taken from the pork? The Allama say, yes, it is permissible, because you are not taking that insulin into your stomach. If you take it in your vein, it is permissible. So the question about the material taken from the pork protein for injection is permissible as far as they don't take it in their stomach.
And say that regarding the pig's heart, they say that is closest to the human heart. Can human beings or Muslims take a transplant of a pig's heart into to transplant into a human? Is this something that is allowed by the Sharia?
This matter was being discussed by many scholars. Is it permissible to implant any part of the pig in human body? The answer from majority of our scholars that there is no harm as far as Sharia is concerned, no evidence to suggest otherwise. Means it is permissible to plant any part from the pig in any place in the human being, say veins, arteries, heart, liver, whatever, pancreas, anything, any part of the pig can be implanted in the human being, and there is no objection on it as far as our leading scholars say.
Okay, thank you very much for the clarification. So Is it true that some animals, like wolves can see jinn and angels? That there are some animals that can actually see such creations of God?
The fact that animals are different and their abilities also are different from our abilities means the ability to hear in the human being is different from the ability to hear in some animals. The sense of the wave in some animals is different from ability for guessing the waves in human being. That's why they say that many dogs run away before earthquake because they feel the earthquake. They feel that earthquake happen from the beginning of it when we don't feel it. But whether some animals see jinns or not, we have no evidence. We have no evidence that some animals see jinns. And even if they see or they don't see, what difference does it make for us? We are not concerned with jinns. Our life is a human life. Jinn's life is different life. So we are not concerned with jinns at all. So the question itself, we cannot confirm that some animals can see jinns or not. That is not confirmed. Number two, we say that even if it is confirmed or not confirmed, it does not have any link or any impact on our human life.
Thank you very much, Sayyidina. Sayyidina, can I attend a mixed gym if I'm wearing hijab and cover my body properly?
No. No. Gym, the dress of gym is not loose. The dress of gym usually is tight. It shows the size of the body. So it is not hijab. It looks like that the female who is asking this question, she wants to attend the gym with her hijab. Your hijab is incomplete if your dress is touching your body. It shows the size of your body, which is not hijab. You can attend gym of females only, not gym with males and females together at one place.
Thank you very much, Sayyidina. Moving on, Sayyidina, my friend has a big dog and she brings it when we hang out, when we meet. Would my clothes or body become najas if I pet or play with the dog, although it isn't wet?
If the dog is not wet and you touch the dog which is not wet, your clothes is not najas. Your clothes become najas if you or your cloth touch any wet part of the dog. Any wet part of the dog. That only makes your cloth or body, whatever you touch, any part of wet in the body of the dog, if you touch that wet part, then you will be, or that part will become najas. But if you are dry and the dog also dry, then touching dry with dry does not transfer the najasat.
Thank you very much, Sayyidina. Indeed. Thank you. Sayyidina, is sleeping less a desirable object in Islam? Meaning, how can the amount of sleep that someone's body requires be decreased?
It is not fact to say that sleeping is undesired. No, sleeping, as much as the human body needs to sleep, it is must, because people who don't sleep, they will damage their health. But what is bad is to oversleep, to sleep more than your body requires, and to sleep during the time of Salah. We don't say don't sleep. Sleep, because inna libadanika alayka haqqa. There is a right for your body on you. You have to fulfill the rights of your body on you. Sleeping is one of the rights of your body. But don't sleep during the namaz time. Namaz time is not time for sleeping at all. And don't sleep during the makruh, the disliked times of namaz, of sleeping, which is between Fajr and the sunrise. Between Fajr and sunrise, this period of time, which is 1 hour and something, sometimes 1 hour and 10 minutes or 15 minutes or less or more, that period is not for sleeping. Makruh to sleep between Fajr and sunrise. And also makruh to sleep after Asr till Maghrib. Between Asr and Maghrib, it is makruh to sleep. If you sleep in the right time to make your body rest, that is good, very good. You are not sleeping during namaz time, and you are not sleeping during disliked time, and you sleep to make your body rest, good. Oversleeping is not good, because those who oversleep, they waste their life, their time, and our time is the most valuable thing in our life. We should not waste the most valuable thing, which is our capital. In fact, those who oversleep, they waste their capital, and they will lose in dunya and lose in akhirat as well.
Thank you very much indeed, Sayyidina. Sayyidina, quick question regarding to shave the body hair for men, for the males, to shave the body hair, such as the arms, the chest, or the legs, using a razor. Is it allowed in Islam?
Shaving the unwanted hair on the body is recommended. And sometimes it is more than recommended when the unwanted hair can cause najis items remaining on that unwanted hair, which can harm the human being. So in general, shaving the unwanted hair is recommended every 20 days for males, and for females every 40 days. The unwanted hair should be shaved or removed. Now, how to remove it? Sometimes people use chemicals, hair removers. Sometimes shave it by razor. Is it permissible to shave it by razor? Yes, it is permissible. Yes, please.
Thank you very much, Sayyidina. So I have a caller with us. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Yes, please go ahead, brother. You're live on the show.
Yes, sir. Yes. I'd like to ask one question from Syed Musawi.
Please go ahead. Yes, he's listening.
Bismillah, please.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah, please.
Brother,
Yes,
please
please. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Syed, كيف حالك يا شيخ؟
Yes. Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. Bismillah, please. Your question.
أنا مسرور جدا يا شيخ بلقائك مرة ثانية.
Shukran. Barakallah bikum. Your question, please.
Brother, please go ahead with your question.
أنا إن شاء الله أسألك سؤال مهم جدا. أنا رجل باكستاني لا شك فيه، ولكن أنا يعني أهل السنة والجماعة، ولكن نحب فرقة الشيعة. لا فرق في الشيعة والسني بنسبتي إن شاء الله. يا شيخ is your time now. There are so many problems in Palestine and Iraq, especially in Palestine now. I want to ask you as Syed Alim, is Alim al-Din, what will happen to these rulers or these zu'ama of the Muslim country, including the Arab, including the non-Arab? What will happen? What they will say to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of judgment when their brother and their sister and their children was killed, zulman. So what they will say and what the Quran say about this? Please reply.
Thank you very much, brother, for your question. Jazakallah khair. Thank you.
We as Muslims are responsible to support the people who are oppressed, the victims, and we have to oppose the oppressors. The Muslims, the innocent children, innocent women, innocent civilians who are being killed in Palestine, they have got right on us that we as human beings should stand with them and should support their right in life. They have not committed any crime that they are being killed for. They are completely innocent. Hundreds of children were being killed in the last few days in Palestine. For what? For what crime they committed? So we must stand with the oppressed. And the rulers who are not doing that, they are trying to please the superpowers, please some big countries against the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What will happen tomorrow for them in front of Allah? Allah knows. And they should be ready to face the consequence of their failing deliberately in fulfilling their duties as human beings first, then as Muslims second.
Thank you very much indeed, Sayyidina. Sayyidina, what happens to the soul if one is murdered? Does the soul wander the earth if the body is never found and buried?
If someone was murdered, so what happens?
Yeah, if one is murdered, what happens to the soul? Meaning, if the body isn't found nor is buried, what happens to that soul?
Allah takes the souls. Allah in the Quran says, Allahu yatawaffa al-anfusa hina mawtiha. Everyone who dies, Allah takes back his soul. No matter whether his body was buried or not buried, found or not found, no matter. The soul is being taken back by Allah. Allahu yatawaffa al-anfusa hina mawtiha. So there is no link between the burial or the body and the soul. Soul is taken by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah knows where is this soul's body. Allah knows. We don't know, but Allah knows. So Allah deals with the soul, and deals with the body as well as Allah knows about both.
Thank you very much, Sayyidina. Sayyidina, is it acceptable in Islamic law for parents to monitor their children's browsing history without their permission?
Yes, it is permissible because that is in the interest of the children. Nowadays, there are a lot of ways that children are being misled and misguided and cheated. So the parents are responsible to supervise their children and not let them an easy victim for those who are misusing the children. Yes, parents are responsible to be sure that their children are being protected from evil gangs or traps and so on. So you don't need to take permission from the child being your child. The parents are not only permitted, but they are responsible. They are responsible to see that their children are being protected from cheaters and deceivers and harmful gangs.
Thank you very much, Sayyidina. Sayyidina, can the husband and his mother force the wife to agree to have children?
Can the husband
and his mother
and
his mother force the wife to agree to have children?
To feed?
No, to have children.
No.
Okay.
The husband is not allowed. I don't speak about his mother. When the husband himself has no right to force his wife to have children, there's no question of his mother. You know, the biggest right on the wife is the right of her husband. You know, when a female is married, with all respect to her parents, the biggest right on her is the right of her husband. When the husband himself has no right to force his wife to have children, to be pregnant. She does not like to be pregnant. She's free. No husband is allowed to force his wife to be pregnant at all. So no question of his mother. But if she says, I don't like to have children, the husband has got right to marry another woman if he wants to have children, and his wife is not willing to have children, so he cannot force her to have children, and she cannot force him not to have children from someone else, from another wife. So both rights. She has got the right to say, no, I don't want children. But she cannot stop him from marrying another wife to have children, because he has got the right to have children, but not by forcing her, by marrying another wife that can be pregnant and get him a child. Yes, please.
Okay. Thank you very much. So now we've come to the end of the show. If we can finish off with a few wise words for the last few seconds, please.
Imam al-Hasan al-Askari alayhi salam, the 11th Imam, his birth anniversary in the 8th of Rabi' al-Thani this month, his sayings and wisdom that he has left for us is great and great. So I would like to remind myself first and the mu'mineen and mu'minat to search a little bit in the internet and read some of the great statements of Imam Hassan al-Askari and take benefit from his statement to enlighten our life and the life of our children and families. That will give us a great benefit. I'm sure that many Muslims don't know about Imam Hassan al-Askari alayhi salam, and we are responsible to spread his knowledge to others and to convey whatever we can to those who don't know about him. From this program, I send salam to our Imam. Assalamu alayka ya Aba Muhammad أيها الحسن الزكي العسكري وعلى آبائك الطيبين الطاهرين وعلى ابنك صاحب الزمان. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم.
Thank you very much, Sayyidina. With those beautiful words of our Islamic scholar, dear viewers, we've come to the end of our show. Keep the